segue.
I have a
well, you should ask her.
an embarrassing story.
Shelving.
Nah,
you can't get presents if you don't have a shelf to put it on.
The thing is, I don't want somebody else to buy a shelf because we're both pretty specific about what we like, and thanks, we have.
Yeah, what if they buy a crooked one, right?
Crooked ass shelf? Get the fuck out of here! Gotta throw a deck of cards under it or something.
Speaking of Amazon,
straight.
I went on Amazon the other day, and did I kind of made it. I mean, I thought
Amazon like the place.
No,
the jungle.
yeah, I was just on top of it somehow. There's there's a little ledge you can stand on top of the whole thing.
Sorry.
Anyway, I went online and I bought $90 worth of Jelly Bellies for Christmas.
That doesn't I know you're telling a joke and I know it's true, but it also doesn't surprise me.
Now I don't get the connection
About me or just
Christmas.
Anyone.
Who's it for?
Himself.
What? You bought Jelly
No,
Bellies
not
for
for me.
yourself?
No, dude, no.
What's it? Who's it for?
No, it's
more surprising
it's
that they're not for yourself.
What?
That's
I know I know I eat snacks.
You know why he had to buy such small candies? Because you've got 10,000 people in your family.
You give one Jelly Belly to
$90 worth of jelly
person.
beans. You can give everybody one.
And they all get salted
Charles
popcorn,
Dickens, I just give them a one bean in their little
with a little bow
their
on
hands.
Please,
With a
sir.
little jelly belly bow. And
And you give them the shittiest combination, black licorice and Dr. Pepper.
Well, we still do the stockings, and I figured if we have the stockings and something on the table Harry Potter style, Christmas Day, I figured a bunch of glass jars of Jelly Bellies would be sweet to look at. I might get more actually, not Jelly Bellies, but more other stuff bonbons.
Bonbons.
I might need to invest in more Jelly Bellies.
No, it was 2 pounds of Jelly Bellies.
I wonder if your investment in Jelly Bellies affected the Jelly Belly stock price.
Oh.
No, I'm not kidding. I went on the site, or Jelly Belly's site. I bought other stuff on Amazon, but I went on Jelly Belly's site. They have
invest in Jelly Bellies now, people.
No, they have flavors that are out of stock, entirely because of Christmas.
Man.
Cinnamon was one of them.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Buttered popcorn.
That's
Dr.
always going to
Pepper
be there. Yeah.
Is our number one. Then number two.
Oh, buttered popcorn. You think's number one?
Well, Dr. Pepper. Did you know Dr. Pepper is
that's
actually
number 20.
prune flavored?
Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, that's where the secret flavor comes from. Prunes.
I know there's
one of the 23 flavors.
But that's what the one people.
There are some crazy. I've seen the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably not wrong because I've had prunes before.
That's I'm pretty sure you're not doing a bit right now.
I'm not. I mean, I heard that and I don't know all the details.
But there are 23 flavors and they're weird.
This is pulling a Pilkington. I don't know all the facts. I just know a little bit.
Pulling a Pilkington. That's the new podcast we're going to start. Pulling our Pilkingtons.
We just review every Ricky Gervais podcast.
Yeah.
We're a podcast
we just watch
an
Idiot Abroad.
Holy fuck!
Oh, that's good.
That's
kind of good.
Good.
Subcast we could do.
I feel like we could only do a couple minutes.
Yeah. Anyway. I mean, we started. Remember that Lost podcast we were gonna do?
We were gonna do. Yeah.
We actually.
That I was only excited about. And I was
because
I watched one episode and I was like, "This is gonna take forever."
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah. It would take forever.
Terrible idea.
Well.
I think, weren't we gonna, even after that, we said maybe we watch a whole season and then review it, but then that was still.
No, still can't.
Have you seen Westworld yet?
No, because my HBO Go, it's I don't remember the password.
Shit.
I'm fucking up.
My friends are split down the middle. Some of them love it, some of them
I know that I need to watch it.
I've spoken to many people that don't like it. I liked it a lot.
I know that I need to watch it because it deals with
well, it's like Lost.
Well,
or whatever.
Virtual reality and life being a fucking simulation, and that's my whole shit.
Yeah.
So I know that I need to fuck with it, but
I see.
I'm fucking up. Whatever. I'm absolutely gonna watch it. Isn't Ed Harris?
Ed Harris is in it. Yeah.
Ed Harris, really?
Ed Harris is
he's the shit.
The black hat. Wait.
I haven't seen it. I didn't know.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, cool.
I thought you were
No, I haven't seen it.
I remember watching a trailer for it back in the day. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of trailers.
Yeah.
Well, let's just.
Shall we?
Let's just jump right in. It's Christmas time.
It's movies. Christmas edition.
Can you feel it?
Bear Club for Movies. We watch the movies.
What is that? Huh?
No. Would you just look at that?
What did you look at that?
This is the Nerd Club for
movies.
Movie Club podcast where we pick a movie and talk about it.
Mostly.
My name is
Andrew.
Michael.
I'm Andrew.
We should do that all at once. On 3. On 3.
No, that was perfect. No, it was perfect.
My name is Michael.
Drew. I almost said Michael.
You almost said Andrew, actually.
My name is...
This week it was Drew's pick, and he picked Trading Places.
Trading Spaces. The great TLC
is
show
there a movie? Yeah.
where you have your house and your friend has a house and then you trade those
And then you
houses
trade
and
it
then
with a
one of
midget's
them's going to
house.
be fucking pissed because you decorated it and you painted it teal. You know I fucking hate teal, Linda. Why didn't you paint it brown like I told you? We had this conversation earlier today and you painted it fucking teal.
Teal's the color of
Teal's the
metal.
color of bullshit. Everyone knows teal's for seals. Alright, I watched Trading Places, the 1983?
Yeah.
83.
It says it's a comedy, but boy, this
Is not a comedy.
not a comedy
You didn't think it
nowadays.
was funny?
Oh my
No.
god.
No.
Yes, hilarious. I mean, Eddie,
Really?
every single fucking line that Eddie Murphy's, he could read the fucking phone book, and it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because Eddie Murphy. But I just mean, 20, almost 30, well, whatever, 33 years
Yeah.
later,
Yeah.
and the climate, the social and whatever political climate that we're in right now,
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff is like not funny anymore. Like it's just too fucking real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially, I don't want to do a synopsis. We should probably do that first.
Synopsis.
Synopsis. It's kind of in the title.
Should
Two
I
dudes
do it?
trade places.
Yeah, I guess Eddie Murphy plays Billy Ray Valentine.
Yeah.
Valentine.
He's a homeless person. He's homeless, right? He's
And
begging.
vagrant,
Well,
whatever.
He's begging and
He could be lying
on the
about
street.
everything, though.
Yeah.
He's
But
But
it's
anyways,
just he poses as a homeless
he's not
person.
well. He's probably
Not well.
He's
He gets well pretty quick though somehow. Don't know how. That
There's
because
so,
of the 80s. Fuck
well,
it.
Yeah,
we
fuck
should
it, yeah.
first. So the villains of the movie, the Duke brothers, played by Ralph Bellamy and Don Amici.
Amici.
Imichi.
They're very rich stock traders, and they have a bet with each other about nature versus nurture.
They're Marley and Marley. Let's be real though.
Marley and Marley?
Marley and Marley.
You know, that's only in Muppet Christmas Carol.
I have that whole movie stuck in my head. I love that movie so
Those
much.
are
Honestly-
the two old guys that heckle, right?
Yeah.
So one of them believes that. So the bet is they're going to take a very wealthy person that works for them and make him poor.
Dan Aykroyd.
And then
Yes.
yes, and what's his name? Dan Aykroyd.
Hirsch. No.
Something.
We'll look it up.
I forget.
And
It's like a very
then they're
weird
going
name.
to take a very poor person, make him very rich,
Very witch.
and we'll see. I guess the bet, like there's like circumstances like the poor person or Valentine has to excel, and the formerly rich person has to like turn to drugs and crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the brothers take a sample of each person's hair and put it in the cauldron, and then the spell is complete, and then they magically turn into different people.
That's true. That's pretty much what happens.
Yeah.
And
also-
then, hilarity ensues.
Hilarity ensues, and long story short, the two people who are bamboozled
End up
becoming
the bamboozled.
friends,
Yeah.
and then they pull the wool over the brothers, and then they live happily
Somehow
ever
steal
after
all their
on
money.
a beach.
Yeah.
That really, I guess, the final, like their ruse at the end. I don't really get what happens.
Doesn't
I
make any
get
sense.
Yeah, I don't
No,
either.
they like falsify documents that were stolen in the first place.
Right.
So the Duke brothers can't claim they were falsified because they were already breaking the law.
Yeah.
And then
It's a little convoluted, but it's just like, it doesn't matter. These win.
Honestly,
it's
you're not
exactly-
supposed to
that's
understand
what-
the stock market even today.
It's
Yeah.
like, because it doesn't, it's not understandable because it's fake.
Have either of you seen?
And I just figured it out. That's why it's called Trading Places, because it's about trading. at the stock
Trading
market.
places.
A place to trade.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like
The title
trading
was so
places and trading
I
places.
did the whole time I watched it. I was like, "Why the hell is it called Trading Places?"
Because they not because they traded places.
Damn
Yeah.
it! Okay, I just got. They didn't drive that
that's
home enough though.
heavy.
They could have
I know.
actually made
Heavy
more,
boy.
Yeah.
more of a cash in on that. Because,
Okay, so let's, I guess
well,
Andrew.
sorry.
Yeah, and
Dan
yeah.
Aykroyd,
Dan
Lewis Winthorpe the
Winthorpe. I knew it was something. like
the
that.
whitest name.
Yeah.
So
Winthorpe.
Andrew, I guess we should start with you. Didn't think this was funny at all
No.
because you hate the '80s.
Well, yes, I hate the '80s,
Did you,
and like there weren't
we
really
can get
jokes.
to it now. Did you like it?
I knew it.
It's not a bad movie.
We gotta find one of these that you love, man.
Dude,
I don't understand what your
I
vendetta
don't know.
against the
It's
80s
not a
is.
vendetta. It's just they're always underwhelming to me. Like they're not worth the time.
It was a different time. It was like a more
I know.
like even
It's
though there's a
so-
story to be told.
Imagine
it's like
watching-
fun. It's only supposed to.
Imagine
and
watching
honestly,
a Happy
we should
Madison
talk
movie like
about-
30 years from now. Like, is it gonna give a like? Is it gonna matter at all?
This
You know?
movie is definitely. It's like
Happy Gilmore is timeless. And
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't want to hear you say otherwise.
It's
Maybe
about
you
a
picked
man
the good one, okay,
overcoming
shut your mouth.
adversity, just like trading places.
Is Click gonna matter in
Fuck
30
yeah,
years?
that movie is fucking sad.
Yeah, I
dude.
agree
Do
with you.
not
I agree
even
with you.
bring
I don't
that
know why I
shit
brought that up.
Punch Drunk Love.
Wait, is Click?
Hey, Punch Drunk Love is not a
We're
Happy
just
Madison
naming Adam
movie.
Sandler movies. Just saying.
Not a Happy Madison movie. That's a good movie.
Grandma's Boy. Gonna be hilarious still.
So I think we should. This is directed by John Landis, who had done. He hasn't actually directed a huge amount of films in his career.
Blues
but
Brothers too.
No, I've heard of him.
Blues Brothers.
He did the second
Animal
one?
House.
No, Blues Brothers. Also.
Okay. I was like,
Not Blues Brothers
fuck. If he did the
2000.
second one, I'll never
He
watch
did
another
Blues
movie.
Brothers, Animal House.
Fuck yeah. John Landis forever.
I guess.
I
He's,
guess-
he's of the National Lampoon crop, right?
Yeah.
Well, Animal House was.
national.
It's just
Lampoon.
like they produce it more than anything.
Well,
you know?
but the National Lampoon is like in Harvard. It's the collective of comedy writers in that. Like the National Lampoon is like the comic rag that they
Yeah.
put out, the comic
Yeah.
like magazine or whatever from Harvard.
Oh shit! I didn't
That's
know
what
that.
it is. That's how it started.
I had no idea. I thought it was
It's
just a
kinda-
Hollywood thing.
No, it's in Harvard. You can still be
still
be a
be
part of the
Lampoon.
Lampoon, but it's like
Overplayed, not
fucking
probably.
white bread turtleneck comedy. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Well, back then it probably wasn't, but
I think it was edgy, but
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's like
but now
so
it is, yeah.
fucking bleh.
because everything is bleh now
Other-
in
Saturday
terms of
Night Live,
comedy.
yeah.
Yeah.
He also did one of my favorites, An American Werewolf in London.
Oh yeah, great.
First
my
like comedy horror films, and Coming to America, which
yeah.
I'll get to later. Also,
That
Three
makes sense.
Amigos.
I feel like he did the Three Amigos.
Yeah,
Then okay, I love this director then, but for some reason this movie was not my thing.
he also did. He directed Thriller.
It also makes sense that he did Coming to America.
Awesome.
Did he did Coming to
So
America?
he hasn't
after
done
this movie?
anything.
Coming
bad.
to America, and there's a
Coming to America.
direct relation between Coming to America and this film.
I was just about to say, like,
Eddie
it makes
Murphy.
sense.
No, there's another one.
What do you
Did
mean?
you guys pick it up? Did you guys
The gorilla?
pick up on it? There's two characters that exist in both films.
Oh, the dude, the dude's in the prison.
No, the Duke brothers.
Oh,
At the end of this film that came out in '83, they're ruined financially.
Yeah.
In '88, when the prince and his escort from Zamunda are in New York, they meet two very poor white people on the street and give them a lot of money. It's very.
those-
They play the exact same characters. The Duke
Oh,
brothers.
shit.
that's awesome.
That's cool as fuck.
It's been
Yeah.
a while since I've seen Coming to America,
I know.
so that
I
detail-
don't think I've ever seen it all the way through. I've just seen
Coming
like,
to America is
That's
pretty
awesome. I love that.
dude, that's cool as fuck.
I know.
So it's like you
such
get,
a
like-
cool Easter egg.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
8 years later. It's weird because Eddie Murphy's in both movies and he plays different characters though.
But he's
still.
Yeah.
playing, but he's also playing more than one character in.
Which,
in Coming to
notably,
America.
that's
Yeah.
the first Coming to America is the first film where
What if
they
it's
had
like
a
some-
black comedic actor play multiple characters.
And then everyone
The
after
first
that
one he
was
did
also
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
And then Eddie Murphy did it a whole lot in his career, and now
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a big thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Interesting.
cool.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. He pioneered that whole. Well, that's not.
Eddie
true.
Murphy did have that moment on the train when he was like dressed as the African, like whipping himself.
Oh
with
yeah,
the,
that was
like,
kind
with
of
the
like
whatever hair.
similar character.
Like it was, he was. That's probably what inspired the movie later. He was just like, well, I did this little thing. in
Well,
this movie.
I actually
Fuck
think
it, like,
that
let's make a whole
his
movie out of it.
stand-up inspired that because he has the
Well, I
thing
know.
of like the African woman coming.
I'm just thinking as far as movie like producers go, they're like, oh, that was a funny thing in this movie. Let's just make a whole movie out of it or
Sure,
something like that.
sure.
Like that's probably how they sold it because
Yeah.
it was a good punchline in the movie.
Oh man, where to start, man? Well, the first note.
Well, could I ask you? After you said you hadn't seen this in a while,
Yeah.
did you like it more or less the second time you saw it?
Well, I mean, I think I didn't even really judge it when I was a kid. I just like Eddie Murphy.
It's just a
so
thing,
he's
yeah.
just funny, you know.
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
always.
Yeah.
And now watching it, like I said, like everything Eddie Murphy does is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Everything Dan Aykroyd does is kind of like I hate him most of the movie because you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like dislike him and
Yeah.
then realize like there is a greater evil here.
Yeah.
But the reason I do like this,
Yeah,
short
okay.
answer.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but the reason I picked this movie is because of the fucking cultural and fucking social and political fucking like climate we're in and how this is so like fuck.
Yeah,
Like, this was a comedy. If this got put out today,
it'd just be too heavy.
It would be too heavy.
Yeah.
It would be a drama.
Yeah.
You know, like,
well, there'd be more drama moments for
Yeah.
sure. Like, you know how comedies nowadays have to have like comedy first half of second act, and then the third act is just resolving whatever conflict it is, and then there's like no jokes in the third act.
Yeah, like the whole end of this third act turns into like a farce.
Yeah.
Like a goofy, there's a fucking guy in a gorilla suit.
Yeah, that was weird.
James Belushi, not Jim Belushi.
What?
Yeah.
He's credited, it's Jim Belushi, the guy in the gorilla.
Oh, I did not know
his
that.
name is in the fucking opening credits. There's only like 8 names in the opening credits.
But they put him in it.
And he's one of them.
And you're just like, where the fuck is he? Yeah.
But he's credited as James Belushi, which I think is funny.
Yeah. That is
I wonder
funny.
if this is one of the first things he did.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
why?
No, it had to have been because this was no. Blues Brothers came way before this.
That's
you're talking about
the bad. You're talking about the good Belushi. I'm talking about the bad Belushi. John.
Jim! Huh! Why did I... Oh, no, never mind. Sorry.
According
I'm
to
so sorry.
James.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Damn it. For some reason, I mixed
Holy
up John and
shit.
Jim, like, got really close in my head right there. Yeah, John Belushi, obviously, but... Jim Belushi. I don't even know what he looks like then, because...
According to Jim, man. Classic television
I
series.
haven't seen that. I haven't seen that either.
Because it's horrible.
Let me see.
on his IMDb picture. He's really pulling off the Trump look with the overly fake
Ooh,
tan. And
maybe.
yeah,
It's not overly fake. He at least has his own hair, too.
we don't need to talk about it.
No, we should never talk about it. But... I don't know, like, that gorilla scene was really fucked up because, like, there's a dude...
He gets raped by a gorilla.
Well, not fucked up. It's just, like, in terms of cinema, it's just weird because they have a dude wearing a fake gorilla costume.
And then there's a guy...
And then there's a dude who's clearly in another fake gorilla costume.
They trade places. You get it? The guys in the gorilla costumes, they get them to trade places.
Well, no, they don't trade places. They occupy the same place.
It's funny
No,
because...
but the one guy's in the gorilla costume, then the other guy's in it.
Yeah.
Trading places.
You don't get it. The guy, the gorilla, puts on the gorilla suit. And then, and then
how weird would that? That would have been
human.
a great moment where like they're just like fuck this, even pretending that this is supposed to be a real gorilla.
Yeah.
We're just gonna take the dude's head.
That's that the whole that whole fucking train sequence is like.
They're like trying to force feed comedy into this plot. That's what it felt like.
It's like not even comedy, it's like absurd.
Yeah.
Like,
it does go
hokey.
It goes off the rails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
the train,
nice,
it goes off the rails. I didn't do that on purpose.
Nah, you
but
did.
yeah.
You did.
It's like
really,
there's a movie and then they're like, fuck it, let's just do Benny Hill for like a good 20 minutes.
I don't know how to end the movie.
And then we'll go
Fuck
back to the movie. Fuck it.
Have you guys seen Brewster's Millions?
No.
It has a really similar plot. It's about
Blank Check, you mean?
it's like
I've seen Blank Check
referring to Blank Check
once, and I've had that fantasy.
I always wanted to
in my
slide
life.
out of my window into my pool.
Yeah,
Which I didn't have a window.
I've had all those fantasies going my entire life.
Well,
I
it's
wanted to
about-
just get a random shitload of money.
two very rich white guys
Richard
that
Pryor.
have a bet about it's not really a bet, but yeah, Richard Pryor, John Candy, and
shit.
they have
It's probably
they
exactly the same
pull
movie.
this wager that throws this formerly very poor person into a lot of money. I'm not going to go through the whole plot,
Pretty
but it's
Woman?
like goofy. That movie's funny too, and it's actually probably not as good as Trading Places, but like
Got a 6.5.
it has much more. It's more grounded. in
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah, I see.
That's the thing. At the
Even though it's
Or,
totally outrageous, it's still more grounded than this movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
It jumps the shark at the end. Whatever.
Yeah. This movie, like...
What's the whole idea that people are fucking manipulating your life? Oh wait, that's not that really crazy, I guess. It happens.
Well, no, like, the idea that these brothers are making a bet and there's people at the butt of it, that makes sense, but, like, it's just the fact that, like, you could convince just via money that, like, tell your butler to never acknowledge him and tell your girlfriend to break up with him and, like, fucking, all the, like, these
Well, they didn't
orchestrated...
even- I don't think they had to make the girlfriend do it. They just had to frame
set
him
it
as a
up.
drug
Oh, that's
dealer.
true, that's
Yeah.
true, never mind, you're right.
Although
they, like,
she was an
framed
awful
him
bitch,
with
right?
Yeah.
But that's the whole
What the
thing.
fuck?
That's what it's saying. It's like, I mean, that's what
People
it's saying.
with money are, like, so...
People are so fucking shallow that
Yeah.
fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
all I care... That
My fiance's image is ruined, so he's dead
exactly.
to me. And
Yeah.
I
she
mean,
didn't care. She was only in that relationship because of his money.
That still happens.
Oh, yes, I'm saying.
Still happens,
That
for
shit,
sure.
all that manipulating with money is
Yeah.
fucking 100% happens all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, who was the actress who...
Jamie Lee Curtis. Damn.
She has great... I was just about to say, she has great
Timing.
boobs in this movie.
Yeah. Kind of caught me off guard, for sure.
There was so much of
yeah.
that, too. Like,
That's the
everyone
thing-
was taking off
Oh,
pictures.
yeah, like that party.
It was
at the
happening.
house.
That's
It happened,
something-
like,
I
too
think
much
I wrote it
almost.
down, maybe. Like, the 80s...
Like, it was a gimmick.
Quit
80s
talking over us.
I'm sorry. What? Go ahead. Sorry.
The 80s, like, if they ever have an opportunity to have, like, a nude scene, they'll be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Sure. There's no reason for any of that, like, other than, oh, look at those boobs.
Exactly, yeah. Like there was
all-
no
I mean, I
purpose.
guess with
just like, let's
with
use it
Jamie
since
Lee
it's
Curtis's character, it's a little more. She's a prostitute, so she's
It made
like
sense for
naked,
her.
whatever kind of
But
makes.
that party specifically.
But yeah, it's like
But actually, that scene, it's almost like he has a fever and she's comforting him.
Yeah.
Not in a sexual way. It's just
No.
like.
well, to
I'm
the
going to,
audience,
like-
it's
in like a
sexual
Freudian
too.
way.
But it's sort
Sure.
of like
Yeah.
she's just trying to make him feel better, so she's going to get into bed and.
But let's be
it's
serious
like,
from a
we
filmmaking
wanna-
point of view.
Exactly.
Like, how do we get
Let's
her out
show
of her
her
clothes?
tits.
How do we
And
get
that
her-
shit just wouldn't fucking stand.
Well, even before that, there's like the moment when he first comes into her apartment and she just takes off her top and is like,
Yeah.
you can't have this, but I'm going to show you my tits. though."
Blue,
Bam.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so weird. Like, why don't you just get.
Why don't you just close the door
Why don't you
first and then
close it?
change?
Goddamn
Well, it's just
door.
one of those
Can't
things.
make a
Like
point.
the '80s is filled with that.
Well, that
Yeah.
party, one of the first things that Valentine does when he gets the money, he throws that big party.
My favorite
And those-
fucking part of the whole movie.
Those women just get topless, like, for no reason.
Yeah.
And are
'Cause they're
just dancing
on-
around, and there's this, like.
They're probably on drugs.
Probably high as hell.
They're probably out of their mind. They don't know what they're doing.
Speaking of that party scene, my favorite quote in the whole movie, my favorite part, it's not even the quote, it's just how Eddie Murphy delivers his lines, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just how he says and does things. It's, who's been putting out their cools on my floor? And just stay there so seriously. Who's been putting my cools out on the floor?
What was the Coors?
Cool cigarettes.
Cools, okay.
K-O. And it's just,
I meant
I
to
don't know
rewind it
why,
'cause I
but
didn't-
like,
didn't
I
really
just
say.
found, it just struck me so
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
funny.
There was another moment where he's talking to the two brothers, and I don't know, they're talking about the stocks, and for some reason, like, sex comes up, and he's like, when two people are make love, like, there was just like, I don't know why, but
He does
that
that a lot.
line was like perfect.
He does that a lot.
Like, he actually,
corrects himself.
it almost
Yeah.
made it seem like, he did it so well, it almost made it seem like that wasn't supposed to be his line. He wasn't supposed to say they're fucking. He
Yeah.
was supposed to say making love. But, like, in that moment, it was a real goof, and he was like, because he stopped himself in such a real
That's
way.
called fucking timing, sir.
Yeah.
And that is what Eddie Murphy
He did it
is
good.
blessed with.
That was like,
he did it good.
out of the whole movie, that for some reason stood out the most, because that
I
was
think we
such a
can
good
all
line.
agree that Eddie Murphy is funny.
Yeah. But
Maybe-
if this were Dan Aykroyd and say anybody else,
who else?
it
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
be
don't know.
funny.
Yeah.
This movie would not be good.
Yeah, and it wouldn't actually.
Every time
Because even Dan Aykroyd in this movie, I love Dan Aykroyd, but even in this movie, he's just like not. He's not bringing like laughs.
he's playing a
he's-
straight man.
Yeah,
he's
maybe that's
often-
why.
I mean, I feel like he usually is the straight man.
Yeah, for sure.
He was in the
I
Blues
mean,
Brothers.
that
right?
scene
Yeah.
in where he's dressed as a dirty Santa Claus
Yeah.
always makes me laugh.
That
That's
one
the
was great.
that, like,
You're right.
which
Never
part?
mind. That was great.
Just the whole thing,
Yeah.
like stuffing the entire smoked salmon.
And then pull it out on the train.
And
just
then when he
eating
tries
it
to
with
pull
hair
it
all up in it and
he
shit.
No,
tries
never
to
mind,
pull
that was
the
my
gun
favorite
on
part.
Eddie Murphy and he pulls out like a piece of steak.
Yeah.
I mean that's
Goofy.
good.
He's like
Physical
when he like
comedy.
runs
Yeah.
out of the office and it's just in the open that open hallway or whatever. And he's just screaming ah, and everyone like gets out of his way. That was hilarious. That was so
I had a
funny.
note too. Going back to the party, I wrote. I imagine this party is what like conservative old white people thought when Obama came into the White House. Like he was just throwing these parties. Like I imagine that's what they.
I want to imagine that he did throw that party.
Oh, he's going to. At least, for
Oh,
sure.
probably afterwards. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
God, that'd be great.
Okay, so on some real shit though,
Okay.
the 80s and Eddie Murphy especially in the 80s are a little dicey for a few reasons. And my first note is the 80s don't care about, and in quotes, faggots.
No.
They like willy-nilly.
Yeah.
And
A lot of comedians, even really good ones, seem dated today because they were so homophobic in their routines.
Watch
back then.
Delirious. That whole half of that thing is. I mean, that's cut out all of the homophobic stuff. I mean, it's just sprinkled in there just because that's how people talked.
Yeah,
which is so fucking crazy.
Well, it was not even like talk. It was just like you can't back then. I mean, nowadays you can, but back then it was just such like a norm.
That's
to just expect that.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, we all agree that this is bad and like
the gays are
gross
terrible and you should be grossed out.
It was like it was just the soil.
That's what I'm saying. Not just the way we talk, the way people were, and then it's so accepted. And then the next note is interesting how the use of Negro. They call him he's whatever they say, like, he of course he's bad, he's a Negro, and like that's in that scene was obviously supposed to be like, oh, these people are bad because they just said that shit, but they can still say faggot.
So you're saying
it's
even at the time and place of this release, it was like there was
a different
levels of
it's just interesting. I know
it's
talking about the time or whatever, but it's like, you know, reading Huckleberry Finn.
It is
or
interesting.
Fucking To Kill a Mockingbird.
To
like
see,
it's still it happened. We shouldn't disregard it. We shouldn't be like, oh, it's bad because it is what it is.
Don't look at it.
But it's fucking interesting how far we've come as a culture in a short amount of time, and also how the same we are. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, you can to your point, you can clearly see the difference. So there is
but I'm saying
obviously.
how with that how different we are, but at the same time how
it's just
shit
not gone,
is still
obviously.
the same. We just fucking. Treat it differently,
Mm-hmm.
like with poverty and the haves and have-nots. How that shit is never going to end because that's what fucking America was founded on. Mark?
Well, I don't think it's ever going to end because that's just nature too. Like, I mean,
I got this, and you fucking don't.
Yeah, people or not people, like animals suffer. It's just they suffer so quickly and it's so immediate that they don't survive, and you don't see like. The downtrodden in nature because they just die. Like if they don't have it to make it, they just die.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like in our society, if you don't have it, you're still alive. It's just it's evident that you don't have whatever.
Well, the most intelligent creatures on the planet, I think. Philosophically,
dolphins, get real.
Like ethically, we've got to rise above those like the natural and evolved.
Well, that's what civilization's all about, is rising above the primeval and the,
exactly.
And I mean, again, who better to talk about
survival of the fittest.
Political and social and racial things than three white dudes?
Yeah, hey man,
we're more than just white.
Drew, hold off for a second. I almost majored in philosophy, so please.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I
always just think about that whenever we get on this tip. Like, okay, people really need to fucking hear three more white dudes' opinions on this.
Hey man, anyone can.
But it's true. But that is why I picked this movie, because it's like a Christmas time movie, but also like.
Yeah, it's subverted Christmas. It's not like
it's not
like the biggest thing.
Like it's happening during Christmas.
Yeah. And that's the thing about these 80s movies, man.
What is it?
Always something about 80s comedies. It's always in the winter. There's always, it's like the sky is always like perfect gray and nothing else the whole movie. Steam coming out of the goddamn streets.
That's such a problem with that.
It's
we gotta
too
find,
much. It's too much of the same.
That's why they call Philadelphia the steamy city.
That's true.
It's like
the steamy city of brotherly steam.
Yeah.
The city of brotherly steam. That's what it is.
Got hot shits there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Looking for some hot steaks, baby.
I will say though that there was at least very little saxophone in this movie, which I
honestly, I was thinking about that right when it first started. I was like, oh, there's no saxophone. It's like piano and like a score.
Yeah.
Well,
they're doing like the whole movie, which was maybe even more annoying. Like they were doing classical music, but butchering it the whole time. Like it was doing like wacky versions of classical music, like Mozart and Beethoven. I was just like,
well, that's
I don't like
the thing.
This at all.
That's like the tone. The '80s was so like
gross.
Elevated. Like I feel like it was very.
They were trying to be a different Gilded Age of America for sure.
It was like everything was heightened because of cocaine.
Yeah,
not a joke. Not a joke.
Including
you're not wrong.
Including Dan Aykroyd.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's just because like that. Cocaine. I mean, not just a drug, but like I feel like. I mean, I'm living this.
Cocaine was good enough to make you think that like women wearing sweater vests was hot.
Speak for yourself. But like just the fact of like
sweater vests.
What are you talking about? Like not just like cocaine is a word. I mean, not even the drug, but just the '80s seemed so heightened. Like obviously we weren't around. I was barely alive then, but like everything in the 80s was wacky is a great term.
Yeah.
Like fucking red leather, new wave, you know what I mean? Like all these things are, in hindsight, I mean, everything is going to be dated and
I can't
but there is there's a specific flavor. It's hard to quantify exactly what it is.
The 90s sort of continued that. If you look at which Batman movie did we watch? Batman
Forever?
Batman Forever, yeah.
Sort of like all these people that get these grandiose ideas, and there's no one that's like, cool it.
Yeah.
No one is there to say like, Joel, cool it down a little bit.
Because everyone's on coke.
You gotta take the nipples off, Joel. I know you just did a bump, but no, man. Here's how it is. It's amazing. And here's amazing. I'll tell you why it's amazing. Yeah. You just gotta have people that can just fuck.
Keep you down low.
But also, I feel like people were. It was a time where I think we're coming back into that again. People just wanted to go to the movies and escape and have fun, and that's like happening tenfold now with all the superhero, sci-fi, all the nostalgia factors.
That's a good
I
term.
remember fucking shit. The fucking the nostalgia berry, whatever the South
regression,
Park, the South Park
like
fucking member berries, whatever. Well, and it's like I was just listening to Hair Plug. Whatever. We both, Andrew and I, love this podcast.
Yes.
You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes.
Yes.
Okay.
Just listening to a new one. They were talking about. There's that new. I haven't watched any South Park, but I'm aware of the member berries, whatever that leads to Making America Great Again. So it's interesting. Like the concept is like nostalgia is kind of what led us to where we are as a culture. We kind of like turned into like a,
Well, because nostalgia can replace your lack of like personality or like happiness, or it can replace a lot of things.
Well, just the idea
for a lot
of
of
nostalgia is kind of like a fog of our memory. Like we see it through this, how we remember it, and actually not what it was.
Yeah.
So people have nostalgia for the nuclear family. But we have nostalgia for the 80s. You fucking hate it, but I love it.
What is it like?
So
you
that's,
think,
So
there's
was
a
a
couple
tangent that I
things
didn't-
that all
No,
you
humans
brought up good points.
all humans have in common.
Thanks, man.
One of which is that every person on the planet suffers. I'm not trying to, but then
Not me. I'm white.
everybody on the planet, as you age, you're going to see more and more things go away.
Right.
That it's like it just happens more and more the older you get, and so we're always going to feel nostalgic for something. Like it's impossible not to, because things are going to go away, and
That's the only
we're going to
constant.
miss it. Yeah,
Change is the only constant. Right?
yeah, exactly.
I was watching Mad Men recently, and this is like a lot to do with your point. How nowadays we only remember the 50s and 60s as like the golden era, or like the best, like the poster child of America, the greatest generation. Yeah. Well, it's good because I think we need more shows like Mad Men, even though a lot of people probably don't
frame
like
the past correctly.
Well, correctly, but maybe not. I mean, it's still a fiction. I mean, it's not like super accurate, but it's healthy because it paints it as
they're all alcoholics
pristine
and womanizers.
Well, yeah, like it paints the pristine right next to like the degenerate like part of everything.
Because it's not all one thing. There's a lot of gray area.
Everything's complicated.
One of my favorite things about Mad Men, and I love the show, is that Eddie Rumpkin is almost portrayed as a like forward-thinking feminist because he gives Peggy a chance to work on like a tampon ad. And that's like
no, it was lipstick at first.
Yeah, but like this is.
But you're right.
But like really, it's insane. But I think it's good that show exists. And I agree. I think there's
everything with hindsight. I mean, like Lincoln is championed as the fucking civil rights guy, but in reality, he just like said like, well, black people are 3/5 of a person, which was fucking. He might as well be Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
But at the time, he was still. It's
worthwhile. It's worthwhile acknowledging it for what it is. You're right.
Sure.
Like, because at that time. He was like
revolutionary.
The Pope, he was the fucking Pope.
He got murdered for that shit.
He got murdered. Exactly.
He got
JFK. Murdered for that shit. And even though all that, like compared to our standards, we would be like, man, he was still pretty fucking racist.
It's
because there's
context.
no way. There's actually a part in Lincoln about that where like
Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, or the fact that Lincoln isn't
But the one with Daniel.
I thought you meant.
Oh yes.
Lincoln,
I'm
the
sorry.
movie.
I thought you were talking about. My point's going to be about him.
No.
What is it?
The same
Tommy
person.
Lee Jones character in Lincoln.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you've never? Dude,
Yeah, I've
watch
never
the
seen
movie.
I know I
either.
need to
Watch. I'll
It's
take
just
it
a lot
next.
of those. Don't tell me because then I
Then
don't know.
fuck. All right, I can't. Well,
Historical dramas, you know me. Oil and vinegar sometimes.
Well, I'm not going to tell you anything about the movie, but this is
oil
just
and
a point.
vinegar. You can totally mix those.
No, I'm just trying to say, like, to your point, Tommy Lee Jones's character is the modern day liberal, and back then he's
a crazy
considered
person.
a fucking. They call him radical,
Right.
And he has a talk with Lincoln about all his ideas that
Right.
today everyone would be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like, that's baseline.
exactly.
Baseline shit.
But then there's another point in the movie where Lincoln's like, if I did all that, we wouldn't get anything done. If I came out screaming all the stuff you're screaming,
Right.
no one would fucking
everything
change.
happens.
Yeah.
Everything happens in
He's
a
taking what he can-
proper
he's
time.
taking what he can get.
You can't just whatever.
Yeah, that's the point
Yeah,
the movie makes.
until the revolution comes.
But you're not wrong. Like Abraham
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Well,
still,
that was just I was just making a point of everything in context.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
everything in its time.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you hate the fucking 80s.
And that's why, honestly, when
You're
Trading
right.
Places came out, they weren't trying. Like, they probably were making statements that were more forward thinking.
Yeah,
than,
it was still.
Yeah.
It was a bold movie, and
Yeah.
all the bold statements that they're making still stand up.
Yeah.
I still hold up. I mean, except for the fact
Hell,
that,
even a movie that
the character you're
includes-
supposed to be rooting for is like saying like slurs against the
Yeah.
gays, which
Yeah.
is like, but it's like, whatever. You gotta, it's horrible, but you gotta remove it, because I'm sure there's shit that we're saying right now that is like, we've said some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like, oh my god, you can't in 10 years, like,
Yeah.
why? You just said whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows?
you have to work for a living. What the fuck?
No, I just mean like the vernacular we
I know.
use.
Yeah. The part of this movie that probably we don't remember anymore, and I know I don't because I wasn't alive during
We
the
don't
time.
remember anymore.
Well, I mean, we don't acknowledge anymore. Is the fact that New York used to be a much more like.
Well, it was Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Earth.
That's probably
Right.
why it looked different.
You're right.
I know
I'm so
you're used
sorry.
to New York City.
No, I just assume it's
why
New York
don't
because
we
I'm
restate
sorry.
It is kinda
that?
weird.
Say urban centers
But
or
the
something.
thing about
Urban
that is,
cities.
Okay, go ahead.
they're
Cities used to be a lot more like not what's the right word, like not wild, but like less.
Just a lot more
Less-
fun, right? Just a lot more.
a lot. Yeah,
Go-
No, crime and shit used to
Wild.
actually be a fucking problem.
I think that's
in the
actually
80s
a
and
great
shit.
word,
And
wild.
like prostitutes were like like on, for example, in New York, there were prostitutes just in Times Square, like the whole
Yeah.
like
Oh,
everyone.
I mean,
that was like common.
You act
knowledge.
like that shit ain't the fucking same right now. They just have
No.
square cards now, and you don't even know they're a prostitute.
Oh.
I mean, it's
maybe
just,
who knows.
dude, they're
But-
here. They're in Columbus.
I'm not saying that prostitutes don't exist anymore. I'm just
I know what
saying
you're
like
saying. It was a lot more Wild West.
it was
It-
more in view, and like to
Sure.
include it in the movie, I think was
Sure.
probably at the time.
That
I mean,
is
the
interesting.
80s was the
the only point I'm
80s were a
trying to make.
huge point of transition. in
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and that's when Giuliani was mayor of New York, right? I mean, I'm not. I think I'm right.
I think so. I think it started in the 80s.
And then
he had a
I
run.
think, and then
Reign of
he
Terror.
traded places with another mayor.
Ronald Reagan.
No,
Donald Trump.
no.
Yeah.
It wasn't Bloomberg,
but
but there was someone before.
I think we should probably trade places in here.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool if we all switch seats.
Yeah. You guys
Should
ready?
we do that right now?
All right. This is a Trading Places song.
All right.
Well, this feels different. I mean, everything looks different.
Back at the hair club with Trading Places talk about it.
About yeah. You said you had an interesting fact.
Oh, so I was watching this, and I recognized somebody in a bit part. Somebody who's listed as cellmate number 2.
What?
You guys watch Breaking Bad?
I still haven't seen
Soulmate
it.
number 2?
Wait, have you seen Breaking Bad?
Of course.
Oh wait.
Do you know the character
You mean one of the two big
Gustavo
dudes?
Fring or Gus? One of the
Really? The Pollo Loco or
yeah,
whatever.
Los
Pollo Brothers or
Yeah.
whatever. Hermanos, yeah. That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
Pollo Hermanos
So
or
while Valentine is awaiting bail and about to get beaten up by the two huge prisoners,
Yeah.
so this is before they
the guy that's sitting
they
next
lift
to
him up.
him.
Yeah, so he's telling this story, a bullshit story about like being a
fu.
karate master.
Being a chain
Yeah,
belt.
and one of the guys standing like over him, looking down, is
No shit.
his name is Giancarlo Esposito.
You talking about? You've never seen Breaking Bad?
Esposito.
I don't know. I can't pronounce it with the right
Esposito.
accent, so I'm not going to try.
ESP.
Well, there's an
Esposito?
actress named Jennifer Esposito. That's
Okay,
how they say
anyways,
her name, right?
That seems like
This movie came out when he was
25.
only 25 years old too.
Interesting. You're
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
That
can't
guy.
say it because you haven't seen it. Breaking
also,
Bad. What the fuck?
It's dude.
Frank
sometimes
Oz.
they seem so daunting.
Frank
that I can't
Oz.
get
Yeah, I
started.
saw his name in the credits, but couldn't
Frank
figure out
Oz
where he was.
plays. It's not even that funny, but he plays like a police
Is
officer.
he the gorilla? That would make sense because
No,
he's a puppeteer genius. Frank Oz, Henson fame.
No, but
Pretty awesome.
he plays like a very scrawny, because he's a scrawny guy, bald police
was at the
officer.
time.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
And it's funny because when I recognized him, I knew, like, if you close your eyes and just think about Kermit, it always sounds like Kermit the Frog.
You're right.
No matter what he does.
I hate to break your fucking bubble, but Jim Henson was the voice of Kermit.
Really?
Yes. Not now because he's dead. Oh, good joke. Good fucking joke. Funny joke, real quick, about Kermit. What did Kermit the Frog say when Jim Henson died?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Bubby.
Because Jim Henson was.
Nothing.
Yeah. All right.
That also suggests that like there's like a little like a wrong relationship there. He doesn't care.
Because he fucking killed Jim Henson.
fucking hate. Yeah. Evil
After
Kermit.
his hand was up his ass all these years, good.
He's got
Glad
got
dead.
beef.
I'm fucking glad
He's got
dead.
beef. I feel a little loose right
Shit.
now, but like fuck.
Fucking hippie piece of shit.
Kermit's like conservative.
Yeah, super
Right wing.
right wing, like Alex Jones loving.
Oh my god.
And I'll tell you another thing about 9/11. I can't do a Kermit voice.
Well, you know everything about 9/11.
That was a good one. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. Do you guys have any other? What was your favorite part?
Well,
My
I said
favorite part, Drew's favorite part was, like I said, the cool when he was talking about the cools.
Yeah.
And I mean the literally every fucking thing Eddie Murphy does.
Everything?
I love the fact that suddenly, as soon as he has a party, like as soon as he realizes, this is my shit.
Yeah.
He's just that guy.
Yeah.
He like knows all this shit about stocks, and he's like great at it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. Like I love that there's no explanation.
The
And like there's
implausibility
no.
of it.
It's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's fine, and it's just part of the absurdity of this story.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite part is the fact that he's pissed that people are ruining his shit.
Yeah.
But I think it's saying something, it's saying like, fucking money will corrupt you, even if it's, I mean, it's a fucking broad comedy, but
Yeah.
there are things to be said here.
Yeah. I think
That's my favorite part.
That people will act the same with the power or whatever.
Yeah.
Or not act the same, but like assume that same
What's the quote?
cultural like identity or something.
A whole power corrupts. What's the quote?
Oh,
complete power.
Complete power
corrupts.
No, absolute power corrupts
absolutely.
absolutely.
Thank
You
you.
got there.
Blah blah blah.
And
You get
money
there.
is the same. Whatever. Root of evil. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Bad stuff.
bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
So what do
bad
you
stuff.
guys rate this one?
I
Andrew,
give it.
Should we go first?
I give it. Andrew's gonna give it, and a negative Michael.
Oh,
A
Michael
low- a
with
low
a
Michael.
lowercase Michael.
A lowercase Michael,
yeah.
Kind of assumed as much.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty clear. I'm gonna say capital D Drew.
Really?
Capital D.
I'm rating it a Drew too.
Okay.
Regular Drew.
It makes sense though. I feel like we all feel.
You know what's kind of fucked up about this? Like, I realize like the flaw in this, because I have to add
There's
capitals
absolutely
and lowers.
no flaw.
That's
in
true.
this
It is
system.
true. That is true.
This is the
That can't be.
Honestly, every movie critic in the world should adopt this system, and I think we'd be better off.
I agree.
Wait, you mean our system?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
we're,
you're right,
we're
you're right.
revolutionizing film
I think so.
I
do.
criticism.
I have to
to
admit.
explain,
What?
the best rating movie
right.
we can get
Yeah.
is
Let's do it again.
a Drew.
Me.
Middle of the road rating is
Him.
a Michael.
Uh-huh.
And if you fucking can't believe it,
You want to
yeah.
shit on its mother.
You just
No, it's not that bad. It's
Oh,
like
it
it's
is.
if you can't enjoy the movie.
Oh, well, I think the thing you said was highly recommend.
What was that?
It was a spider.
Oh yeah, they hang out here. Drew would be highly recommend. Probably gonna see it again. Michael is meh.
Good. Probably not gonna see it again. Right?
Yeah,
right.
But with still
but you
with
still
a possibility of a recommendation.
Yeah.
And an Andrew is no recommendation.
No recommendation.
Don't watch it.
And a regret.
And a regret.
Yeah.
Full of.
Give me my time back.
Give me my time back. That's
This was
good
a very
one,
long comedy.
Yeah.
That's. I guess
Yeah.
I didn't say that there was a lot of preamble. The first act, which is like. I always try to watch and try to figure out like where the acts are. It's usually pretty obvious, but this movie is kind of like there was a preamble. It was like a pre-act one with all the setup of how they're gonna fuck. We got to set up who these characters are and how we're fucking up their life, and then the movie starts. Kind of,
You're all about. You're on 2001's back for like not being to the point. This is kind of like
the only problem.
I mean, everybody's on 2001's back.
I like that movie. I respect that movie, but I'm as a film goer, it was daunting.
Did you?
It's an exhausting movie.
I mean, I don't want to talk about 2001. I'm just saying, using that as an example. This movie felt like that to me, where it was.
It meandered.
There was a lot. Yes, there was a lot of like staying on the same thing for way too long.
Get to the point.
Yeah,
I agree. I feel like that too, but
yeah,
I was okay with it.
Okay.
I mean, I had a good time. Even though it wasn't like a laugh out loud comedy, I still thought it was funny almost all the way through.
Yeah,
it was entertaining to me. I was excited to watch it, and I was not disappointed. And it had been a while since I'd seen it. So,
like I said, Eddie Murphy can be in anything. And God damn it, Michael.
That wasn't me. That was
probably
unprofessional.
That was Andrew this time.
When you point it out like that, we can gloss over it. But when you fine here.
All right,
okay,
so
for this last bit.
Well, what do you guys think? Should we talk about anything current right now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we've all seen
The Arrival.
Just came out.
We've all seen Arrival.
What's this? Arrival.
Yes.
What's it called? A hair snippet?
Hair clip.
We got hair clip.
It can't be hair clip. No, those are different.
We've got these new little at the end of this. We got a new thing to talk about.
A little highlight.
A little highlighter.
Highlights.
A little highlight.
Your highlight. I like it.
Highlights.
Frosted tips.
Frosted tips.
Because we're giving you tips.
This is our frosted. These are our frosted tips.
Because it's cold out too, and there's snow.
Yeah.
Arrival. Sorry, Amy Adams.
Should this be a spoiler free?
Try to. What? Fuck it.
No, fuck it. Like, whoever's listening to this, fuck it.
I don't give a shit about these people.
Whoa, okay.
You can't let them dictate what we do.
Well,
basically,
fans,
it's the Gorillas in the Mist, but
fans,
with aliens.
Gorillas in the Mist?
But with aliens.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but these guys might. And I
never thought about it.
Amy Adams teaches alien sign language.
No, it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
Well, but that's what Gorillas in the Mist with. Jane Goodall fucking taught gorillas how to communicate with people.
You're not wrong.
And the aliens are literally in a fucking mist.
Well, yeah, shit, you're not wrong.
Once I thought of that, I was like, oh, that's what this movie is.
No, but it's so much more than that.
It's so much more than that.
It's so much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was awesome.
I loved the movie.
I knew very little about it.
Yeah.
And
I literally went in because Andrew on the podcast was like, oh, you got to see Arrival.
Yeah.
Didn't watch a trailer, nothing.
Thank God.
Well, that's where I'm at. I got from that.
Isn't that a great experience?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I got, not even, I said it's a resolution on Facebook, whatever, but I've actively not been watching trailers anyway, and I'm going to go out of my way to not watch any of them. Yeah. I mean, if I go to theaters, it's unavoidable.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
whatever.
And they're a good fucking time. I love it.
In theater,
I love seeing the trailers in theaters.
In theaters, a whole other experience than like seeing the preview to the teaser trailer that's teasing the next trailer that's coming out.
That's going to be the Red Band one.
And it's the Red Band,
going to be
and then the movie doesn't come out until 2018.
Yeah.
And then fuck.
Yeah.
And then, fuck, because it ruins it. But I went in completely cold to Arrival, like I knew it was an alien movie. But this is not, it's barely an alien movie.
Yeah. It's about everyone involved with I don't know. It's
about loss.
I just thought it was real. The whole thing was so, I would say, tight almost. It just thematically was really cool. How it was about this linguist. And man,
there was a lot of moving parts in it too.
Yeah.
The fact that they had
man.
I don't know. I'm going everywhere. But
Andrew Slonkowski. Man, that's your quote on the Arrival poster.
Fuck.
Man.
No, but The part when you get to the like headquarters or something like right near the alien egg thing.
Right when they first take her there?
Yeah, when you walk in and you see that there's 12 of them, right? There's 12
across the country, yeah.
Yeah,
12 or
and
16.
they're in each other country and they're all talking to each other. There's the moment of the movie when like I don't know, this was my favorite part when they stop talking to each other because this is the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
They shut off
all the
their
countries?
cameras. Yeah, they shut off their cameras. They stop talking to each other. That's the moment when I realized that's what this movie is about. Communication. And I mean, a smart person would probably realize before that. But to me, I was like, oh, this is like... It was like evidence that this is going somewhere, you know? I was like, oh, thank God, like there's a theme and like they're saying something.
I think that's
Holy
the test for true sci-fi. And sci-fi back in the day, and even like horror, like zombie movies, whatever, were supposed to be, they were used as social commentary.
Yeah.
And this is the first, like, I haven't seen, I mean, there's been a lot of sci-fi that's come out, but this is the one that's got not heavy-handed, but like, it's fucking social commentary.
Yeah.
Fucking talk to each other.
No, there's a statement.
Because, because the aliens are not trying to fuck with us.
Yeah.
They're trying to, like, ask for help from us.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
I loved that part. They were like, it's
a little
Amy Adams is
convoluted.
like, why are you helping us now? And they don't explain all of it. They just tell you
fucking,
like basic.
Guess what? Now you can fucking travel through time and shit in your mind.
We give you something, you give us something. Zero or what was it? Zero sum game.
Zero sum game.
Yeah. That's the only problem I had with the movie is because it confused me. Like I was, but then after I left, and then Michael and I talked about it, I was like, oh, okay, it's like she's known because time is a flat circle to her now.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, you don't know that, so when I left, you have to, I love that.
I watched it twice.
Since Inception, I can't think of like a lot of movies that have been new, that have been like,
make you go back.
To, like, truly process it.
Yeah. Interstellar actually had a very similar theme and twist and revelation.
I still need to see that one too.
But I'm sorry I said that then.
No, I mean I know that it's like a heavier
time loop
it is. But that's fine. That's my whole shit.
Yeah.
And I knew speaking Christopher Nolan, whatever, Dunkirk.
Dude,
actually, I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer right before I came over.
I did too,
here.
actually.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about it's like a war movie, World War II or
but it's gonna be great.
I cannot be more jazzed.
I don't give a fuck about war movies, but it's Chris Nolan, so
that's the thing.
Yeah,
I'm in.
That's why I'm so excited.
And I know you're gonna jizz all over the place because you love Chris Nolan and you love history.
He loves anything with guns.
Yeah,
no, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Historical guns.
I love anything dealing with history.
It's gotta have old guns,
like a musket, a nice musket, like a muzzle loader.
I don't know, whatever.
BB guns.
I won't continue, but
bow and arrows.
I'm so jazzed.
Swords.
Yeah,
you love a good sworded movie.
Yeah,
I do.
You probably love Braveheart.
I did.
You pussy.
Man, that movie sucks. They cut off his balls. All right,
man, we can't trash Mel Gibson movies. They're great.
Well, he's an anti-Semite.
Who gives a fuck? Are you a Jew?
The Beaver.
Are you a Jew? Why do you really care?
The
Did you just say The Beaver?
The what?
That was like Mel Gibson's comeback movie. It was like pretty fucking heavy, dude. Actually, after he had that fucking anti-Semitic meltdown, whatever, he said crazy shit, whatever.
I still need to see Apocalypto.
Oh yeah, it's good.
That's like a fucking manifesto of a crazy person, isn't it?
No, it's good. It's really good.
I don't know.
I read somebody.
I thought it was like the equivalent, the Christian equivalent of like.
It's a movie.
What's the
in
Scientology
the Mayan language
movie?
And what?
What's the Scientology movie?
Like a propaganda
Master.
4?
No, the Scientology.
The Master.
The John Travolta. Based on the fucking Scientology books.
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
The like notorious flop that was like a sci-fi movie about the books that Scientology's based on.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's called Battlefield Earth.
Oh, is that really based on Scientology?
It's on what's his name?
L. Ron Hubbard.
Because you know those books, are sci-fi books.
No, I didn't. I don't know what this movie is.
I did not realize that Battlefield Earth was actually an adaptation of L. Ron Hubbard's.
One of the worst sci-fi movies of all time.
I gotta see that movie.
It's fucking based on one of the worst religions of all time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking look with that and watch Go and Clear too and fucking.
Oh, but anyways, I've heard it said by some random person on the internet. So I'm not claiming this is me. That if anybody else had made Apocalypto, it would have been a huge hit.
Yeah,
because of the baggage with Mel Gibson.
You know, and I like the movie. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I mean, the man made Lethal Weapon and Mad Max. We can't fuck with him too hard.
Sorry about that.
Technical difficulty.
Yep. You didn't miss anything though.
Yeah,
you did not miss much.
Anyway, what
time is it?
Those kids away. It's time for the quiz. Yeah.
I don't think that was.
I need to get
Put
better
your
at it.
kids away.
your kids
It's
away.
time
Yeah.
for the quiz.
Hide your kids. It's time for the quiz. Oh no, I was trying something new. It didn't work.
Hide your kids. Hide your
Okay.
wife.
So I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I got Trading Places off very few clues.
Yes,
For
you
some
did.
reason, I remembered it was in Philadelphia, and
For some reason.
Yeah.
In West Philadelphia. Born and raised.
this film is set in Chicago.
The Blues
Chicago?
Brothers.
Nope, but that would be. I'm not going to pick another genre in this movie. Without talking about this movie specifically, with you guys, I know one thing for sure, that you have seen this movie. I'm certain of it.
That both of us have
How are
seen
you
it?
certain of it?
Chicago. The movie Chicago.
No, I'm certain of it.
Home Alone.
The
There it
Untouchables.
I knew we were going to stay on Christmas theme. Dude, the first one, because Lost in New York.
Why'd you say the Untouchables?
I don't know.
Man, I had other.
You just got to find your opening, man, and snake it in.
Man,
I wasn't even paying attention. I probably could have got that.
I spent some time on this.
God
clues,
fucking
too.
damn it.
I've seen Home Alone probably
Can we
100 times, so...
What, do you want to do it again? We'll do the quiz over again,
I'm gonna
Andrew.
I'm gonna give you this one, so...
Thank you.
It's fine.
Jesus. I feel like I'm getting robbed. You get her like 2 seconds. I have no fucking time to think.
I can't
Andrew,
help that the quiz was easy.
can't-
It was as easy for you.
I can't
too.
help that
He said Chicago.
I
And
can't
then
help...
he said Home Alone.
How many movies said Chicago?
Fuck.
I know...
Probably plenty.
I don't know. I've been studying movies my whole fucking life. What do you want from me,
I
dude?
don't know,
Like,
man.
what the fuck do you
Is this
want?
the first Home Alone?
Yeah.
Number one, because
Okay,
Lost
cool.
in New York is in New York. It's in the title.
I want to
you're
run
right.
through the rest
Yeah.
of my clues real quick. Sharing a composer with many Steven Spielberg and George Lucas classics like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Schindler's List, and also the Harry Potter movies.
John Williams?
Yeah.
Nice.
John Williams is done.
By the time
he's
it
the
was
man.
done in
Yeah.
theaters, this film was the third highest grossing film worldwide.
Holy fuck.
And it stars a quintessential child actor.
Man, good pick.
Yeah.
You like this movie, right?
No, I love this movie.
Okay.
We watch it.
I think
every
it goes
Christmas.
up that we're all going to give it a like.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those
I-
things about nostalgia. Like, we're not going to be able to see this movie objectively.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Because it really, like, I was his age when this came out.
Yeah,
And
I was
it was
too.
like,
you know how many fucking booby traps I set and like hurt
Fuck
my
yeah,
brother
you
and
told
got
me about
grounded
this, yeah.
and shit?
ooh, I got a
We'll
good,
we'll get heavy into
Yeah,
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Fucking marbles on the floor and the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
I related. I wasn't the youngest. I was the third in my family, but I do
You
relate.
said that like it was a question. You should know.
No, I do
Well, there are
relate.
80 of them, so it's hard to keep track, I'm sure.
I do relate to the moments when he's like, shit on or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Little brother, big brother shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I had that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Buzz's
I'm looking-
girlfriend.
Wolf.
This is one of those movies that I could probably, like, if I was pressed for it, I could
Yeah.
probably quote most of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to know, whatever. Yeah, all right, cool.
I started eating cheese pizza even though I didn't like it just because of
Fuck
this movie.
yeah.
Shameless Pizza Hut plugs in this movie.
It
too.
made
yeah.
it made pizza look so good. I don't
Every
know why.
time- wow.
Especially actually
I want to get pizza right now.
New York, or what was it? Lost in New York. There's a moment. Even though this is the second one, there's a moment in Lost in New York when like he comes out to a limousine and there's this like bellhop with a box of
Oh,
pizza
yeah.
Oh.
and the steam comes pouring out. I was like, "Fuck,
You know,
that was
you know
great."
what happens right before he leaves that lobby to get into the limousine?
What?
Our president fucking
Oh,
tells
yeah.
this kid that he doesn't
Yeah.
know what the fuck to do. Just shitty person. Proof.
What do you mean? No, he asks for
Proof.
directions and he tells
Did
us
you know
directions.
they didn't even ask him to be in the movie? He was just
just-
in the Plaza Hotel
'cause he
and he
owned
was
it.
like, I'm in it. I'm going to walk
I'm in it.
right
I'm
now."
in it.
Boom,
Yeah.
I'm in it.
Boom. I wish you said
I gotta
that.
work on my
Boom,
Trump.
I'm
It's
in it.
hard. It's a necessary.
Boom,
It's a
I'm in it.
necessary.
Gotta let-
Oh, right.
No, do
It's gonna be wonderful. Gonna be great.
act
You
like
sound
you're.
like a Joe, you almost sound like Joe Pesci right there. So
Well, it's like I
Still
want to do
fitting.
like I do like a JFK, and it's like almost the same one. It's like a fine. I don't know. I can't do
Act
it.
like you're faking an orgasm. That's how you do.
I don't know how.
That's how
baby.
you do Trump.
I don't know how to fake it, baby. All right.
all right. Hey, follow us on Instagram.
Instagram.
Please
Instagram.
Like,
Instagram.
rate us,
Instagram.
subscribe on iTunes or
Instagram.
wherever you follow
That was fun.
podcasts. Podcast Hair Club for like the number. Hair Club for movies.
It's the Hair Club
didn't-
for movies.
I was trying to do Trump the whole time. I didn't know.
Hair Club for movies.
You gotta find your Trump.
We watch the movies 'cause
Is
it's
Donald gonna be like one of those names like Adolf, where just all of a sudden no one names their kids that anymore? I think it is.
Nice chord. That's like Cheers.
Oh yeah, that's pleasant.